Continuous coverage of the Bahamas Golden Jubilee Games. I'm Chris Saunders. Thank you so much for tuning in. The Bahamas is and has been for decades a powerhouse in sports. At the Olympic level, we have on several occasions been declared the winner when one considers the number of medals we have captured compared to our population size. While countries with millions of people have struggled just to win one medal, the Bahamas has been atop the Olympic podium many times in track and field, thanks to the performances of Frank Rutherford, our Golden Girls, and our Golden Knights. Pauline Davis-Thompson, Tonique Williams, Shawnee Miller-Weibo, Chris Brown, Stephen Gardner. The list keeps going on, and we hope into the future as well. No wonder Bahamians have come to just love track and field, perhaps more so than any other sport right now. And then there's boxing, where the Bahamas has always punched well above its weight. Elijah Obeid, Ray Minus Jr. head the list of Bahamian boxers who have achieved the highest level of success internationally. Tonight, coverage will be including track, boxing, and then we also have softball and basketball that is going to be going on. But before we get to all of that, let's take a look at the medal count that has been updated to reflect newly issued hardware. Right now, it still is Grand Bahama up top and New Providence making a charge. There's only a 10-point total difference right now. Grand Bahama still leads in the gold medal hunt, though, with 66 gold medals, 42 silver, 34 bronze, for a total of 142 medals. New Providence, usually a powerhouse and taking this runaway train on the road, is sitting in second with 41 gold medals, 52 silver medals, and 39 bronze medals, for a total of 132 medals. Columbus Isles shocking everybody right now, 13 gold medals, 11 silver medals, 28 bronze, for a total of 55. Long Island has 9 gold medals, 17 silver medals, 15 bronze medals, for a total of 41. And then Andros rounds out the top 5 with 13 gold, 11 silver, and 11 bronze, for 35. Bimini has 18 overall. Maikal has 18 overall. Exuma and Ragged Island with 7, including 1 gold medal, 1 silver, and 5 bronze. Eleuthera with 3 gold medals, and Abaco with 3 medals in total, a silver and a bronze. And remember, most of those medals came from one specific sport, swimming, because again, they give out a lot of hardware there. So these overall standings could very well switch up as we have started track and field competition. Before we get into the trek of various venues, let's first introduce our studio guest this evening, Miss Rashima Thibault. First time I've ever met you ever in life. She's the team manager for the New Providence men and women's soccer team. Shima, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure it's been an exciting couple of days after winning for New Providence, winning both gold in men and women.
It has. It has been a very exciting past few days.
What was really key for you all first in the women to pick up that win, you thought?
Mental preparation, physical preparation, coming into the game with their strategy. So overall, they were prepared. I feel that they were prepared in going into it. Looking
on the man, I know Ronaldo Green picked up the Golden Boot. He's a powerhouse. What was your strategy on the men's side?
Same thing. Men and women worked side by side when it came to training. So in preparation, coaches came in strong. They physically prepared the players as best as they can. And overall, the guys and the women were totally excited in terms of ready to play, ready to bring home gold, and that's what they did. They kept it as their focus.
All right, Shima's going to be with us for this afternoon session, but first we're going to head straight over to the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, where they are starting track competition. It looks as if the 400 heats are getting ready to go. We join now Ricardo Lightbourne with the call.
It's 2 heats, 2 timed final heats. Then the first heat, the winner there was Shanna Adderley from Grand Bahama. She was still trying to get the confirmation on her time, and then followed by Rage Pantry from New Providence. So they were 1 and 2. And just a minute ago, you had in this one, young Miss Ford, who finishes first, and then in second place is also Miss Ferguson from Grand Bahama. We now end up going to the boys under 17, and this will be heat number 1. in lane 3, it's going to be Jade and Mott. Floyd Lightborn will be in lane 2 from Michael. From Eleuthera, Malik Isaacs in lane 5. From Abaco, Scotty Dubres. From Abaco, from Andros, Ryan Larrymore. And then also you have Cleon Laguerre, who is from Grand Bahama. He will be running out there in lane number 8. We had 2 sessions planned. Now it's 1, and it's 1 times time finals. You have 3 heats here. What is the plus and the minus for this, Rupert?
I would say plus. Because you have time factors. And that could be very tricky, right, Tony? Because here it is. You go there, you run, you know if you're running fast, okay? And do you have a second chance to run against somebody who won the next heat? So that just don't make no sense at all.
Well, I think it's a plus anytime an athlete just has to come out here and run once. It's very, very hot, as you would have mentioned. But at the same time, for experienced runners, this is good because they only have 1 opportunity to come out here and have a flat run where they run very fast. To an inexperienced runner, you don't really know what the competition is like, and so you have to put it all out effort in the first round. And so sometimes when you have these kind of conditions, it could be very difficult for an inexperienced runner.
And you just saw a shot of Malik Isaacs. He's running the 400 meters. He's going to be in the in lane 5, and there's the outside athletes there in lane 6. Look like he's going to be making a good run there from the island of Abaco. Okay, and going from there. But boy, we got lane 7 that's open, and lane 7 should have been Ryan Larrymore. So we only have lane 3. Lane 4, lane 5, lane 6, and then out there lane 8 will be Cleon Laguerre from Grand Bahama. So missing from the start line is going to be from Andros, Ryan, so he's not there. And we'll see where they go. Now, the other side of this thing is you now have 3 heats. You don't know if you're going to be in a fast heat or a slow heat, and go from there. And then, too, with the intent of the games, I would have thought that the technical meeting, the argument would have been give these kids a chance to run. They've been training and practicing, and so 1 race, and that's it for them. So if they're only in the 400 meters, they don't have any rounds, you don't have any means to get used to the facility or the track and go from there. But here we go. We've got a very, very good start. Out in lane 8, looking pretty good out there. And making it happen, there you go, is Laguerre. And with a very, very large lead out there. And he's really moving very, very smooth at this juncture. Athlete number 2, 190. And there he is now up there at the top of the curve. And you can see the distance here between Mr. Laguerre and the rest of the field for Grand Bahama. The other athletes now trying to make a run. Over there from Abaco, also trying to get in there is Scotty. And here is, I think he understands now that he's running for time. And so for time, he will run and will cross the line. And I'm seeing 52.82, the time so far. So that should be the leading time in the boys under 17 400 meters. So not a bad run there for the young man from Grand Bahama. And the other athletes also right there from Abaco finishing second, Mr. Scotty Dubres. But you got to wait now and see what happens in the next 2 heats and see exactly what the end result is going to be there. We love the fact that the track and field component is where a lot of these athletes who have been working very, very hard to represent their islands, and they come here for the Bahamas Games. And so for them, the opportunity to run, all right, not just for your country, that's one thing. Now you're running for your island. Okay, you got your grandma sitting down there, and she's sitting there in front of the television. She's watching, and she's watching to see exactly what you do. So you got a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah, you got a lot of pressure.
And I imagine for a lot of the athletes, this is a chance to come out and prove that their island is superior. So many times we hear that Nassau is the best or New Providence is the best. And so I'm sure there are some family island kids that want to come out here and prove that different.
Yes, you can have a lot of athletes we call diamond in the rough. You know, and that's what we're looking for, the diamonds in the rough.
Diamond in the rough, you look for it. Let's go to let's go to heat number 2 of the 3 finals, time finals we have here. We have from Exuma, Aiden Roll will be in lane 3, and lane 4 will be Kevin Spence from Long Island, the Bimini Berry Islands. That is Camo Roll, and he's running in tennis shoes, flat shoes. Also from Andros is Taneo Ferguson. Kenny Ramming is from Mycal, and then you have from Eleuthera, Jervins Jusant, that's out there in lane 8, and he is from Eleuthera. And so you get a chance to see the times that they need to look at. They're now looking at running at least getting under 52 if they're going to be able to get themselves into the medals, to the medal platform in a little bit. And then now we're getting a little breeze that's coming in. And it's coming in outside of the northeast here, and so that also will be a little bit of a hindrance. But outside and the running exceptionally well, it's going to be Mr. Chosant out there, and also from Mycal, Kenny Ramming. Making a race of it, and so he's running on the inside now, still trying to come in. It's going to be Kevin Spence, and Spence now making a run there, and now looking good is Ramming from Mycal, looking exceptionally well out there, and see if he can go through. And that's Andros Torino Ferguson. Torino Ferguson looking very good. There he is. Torino Ferguson running exceptionally well. Let's see exactly what he's able to do here, and he will cross the line. Yes. And he comes across the line there, and so he too put a pretty good run, and that's another 52. It looks like 52.4 for the Andros runner.
So it looks like now he has the fastest time.
Yes, that certainly looked like a better effort in this race. In the previous race, we saw where some of the athletes actually walked across the finish line. So I'm really wondering if, in some way, these are time finals, but have they placed these athletes according to time previously?
According to time.
And see, and that's another thing in terms of the time and the draw, and how do you put them into the various heats. Interesting enough, I was never one for time finals, primarily because these athletes, it isn't like you're driving from Tallahassee, okay, to Jacksonville, or you're driving from Fort Lauderdale over into Orlando. You're flying like the athlete from Mycal. You're flying from Eleuthera and from Andros, and you're coming as far as Long Island to go over. And then you just get one opportunity to run around the track. Don't get an opportunity to see the other competitors and get a feel for the competition, and even going from there. So lots of questions, but remember now, I only call it. I'm not the official. And I always say it that way. And in this heat, now this is heat 3, the final heat for the under 17 boys, 400 meters. From Abaco will be Darren Stirrup. From Grand Bahama in lane 3, it's going to be Giovanni Bridgewater. New Providence, Andrew Brown will be in this one. Nathaniel Smith, the Columbus Isles, will run in lane 5. Also, Zion Davis, New Providence, is in 6. Quincy Roll, Exuma, will run in lane 7. And from Long Island, Joshua Lockhart will also run out there as well. At this rate, and having the time finals in all the events, we will be finished in time to go home and watch The Bachelor. Let's send it over to Jay Philippe, who's standing by with the news for us. Jay?
Yes, Scott, I'm joined by Coy Adderley, the high jump champion, under 17 girls. She's no stranger to track and field. She open girls, I'm sorry, she would have made the Clifton team the past 2 years. Coy, how does it feel to be the Bahama Games champ?
It feels great, this being my first Bahamas Games. So I was looking forward to representing my island, New Providence. And yeah, but I didn't make my goal of 1.7 meters, but I did tie my PB of 1.65. So I'm pretty okay. Like I'm great.
There you go, Coy Adderley, the Open Girls Bahamas Games champion. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And she wins the gold. The silver will be going to Grand Bahama Kelly Gray. Only 2 competitors showed up for the high jump segment here today. We had a full field in the javelin. We're waiting to get the results of that. We had 10 athletes over there, and also in the shot put, some 10 athletes as well. Here we go to the 400 meters. This is the heat number 3 for the under-17 boys. Let's see what we have here. Again, the lane assignments, Sturr, Bridgewater, Brown, Smith, Davis, Roll, Quincy, and then Lockhart in that order. The time to beat is going to be 52.4 so far. And we can see here that all the runners are off and running. And on the outside from Long Island, looking pretty good is Joshua Lockhart. But here comes the heat in the middle of the track from New Providence. Zion Davis also running exceptionally well, and also Andrew Brown, and he's on the inside. So the 2 New Providence-based athletes now up at the 120 mark and looking very, very good as they will now come off the bend. And also from Grand Bahama on the inside is also Giovanni Bridgewater. And let's see what happens here going down the stretch. As Bridgewater now making a run and tying up, and not looking good as Andrew Brown, but Bridgewater making a run here. Bridgewater, he is actually open up, and Bridgewater will cross the line. Bridgewater from Grand Bahama winning that one. And 49.79. That's the best time we've seen so far.
So that's probably the goal.
That's the goal. That's the goal right there. 49.79. That is Giovanni Bridgewater from Grand Bahama. And so I guess he got the memo that this is just one lap, and that'll determine gold, silver, and bronze. And so he went out exceptionally and ran a very, very good race. And so for him, we want to say a very special congratulations. You know, the 400 meters is an event that Ruben and I only run to train. Okay. We don't fool with that, okay? so we don't mess with that. And so we leave that exactly alone, okay? And so Ivan ain't going down that route, whatever the case may be.
The 400 meter expert is right next to us.
Well, that's it. That's it. And for Tonika, you know, that's her race. And so that's how she's going. So let's go over now to Jay Philippe. He's standing by with the winner in the 400 meters for the 17 boys. And that is Mr. Bridgewater. No. Okay. So he'll hold on and hold off on that one for a minute as we look at the athletes that will be running here in the open division of the women's 400 meters. You have Miriam Byfield. They'll be running out of lane 4. Also, Afrinique Knowles from Grand Bahama will be in 5. Jasmine Mackey of Columbus Isles is in 6. And 7 is going to be Angel Pratt from Andros. And from Bimini Islands will be Canal Bethel. So there you have it. We have those athletes out there now preparing to run here in the 400 meters. And Byfield, Miriam Byfield is also making something happen here. This is going to be a pretty interesting one for the open women. And having Miriam Byfield right there, so she'll run. So 2 heats. We only have lane 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that is available, and we'll see how that goes and going there. It takes a special athlete to run this, all right? When you ran it, it was a race. Now it is a sprint. How do you feel about what's happened in your specialty at this juncture?
It felt like a sprint then. The 400 hasn't changed much. I would say that you have to be right there in between. You have to have endurance and you have to be a sprinter. For me, the finish of the race against Ana Guevara it had to be fast.
Right.
And so that was a sprint for me. But for other runners, sometimes it's the endurance aspect that sometimes prevail. And so for different athletes, it's different things. It's either your endurance that comes out on top or you're sprinting.
And right now, the sprinting out there and out front is young Miss Angel Pratt of Andros, and she is not looking back at all, and she is gone. She's way out there running by herself and looking exceptionally well. The other athletes are back there and not making much ground, and there she is looking very, very strong here as she now come off the bend and straighten up. There she goes, Angel Pratt, representing the big yard. Andros, again, time finals, and she's running, and she wants it, and there in second place, Miriam Byfield from Grand Bahama, and also coming up there also is going to be Afronique Knowles. And so there she goes. She crosses the line from Andros. Waiting for that time to be posted. It looks like 58:27 is going to be her time, and a very good run. The young lady there from Andros.
Yeah, certainly a really good effort. She went out from the gun. She was prepared to win. And so I'm curious to see what the next heat will be like and if there's somebody that can top her time.
Okay, so there's actually two heats as well. And so the second heat will be coming your way in just a moment. But there is the finisher as the athletes will go over. So now let's go to Jay Philippe, who's standing by with the under-17 boys 400 meters heat 3, heat 2 winner there. Jay, take it away.
Yes, Scott, I'm joined by Javana Bridgewater from Grand Mama, who just won the under-17 boys 400 meters in the time of 49.7 seconds, I believe. How does it feel to be the Bahama game champ?
It feels good. It feels good because it shows that the hard work I put in is starting to pay off now. So I'll be better in the long run.
Going up against Andrew Brown, one of your guys that ran Crifty with you, how was the competition for you? What was your strategy?
The strategy was to really pace off of him and execute my actual plan. So at the same time, I do both.
There you go, Bridgewater, your under-17 boys, Bahama game champs. Back to you, Ricardo.
Thank you very much, Jay, and very good run there by the young man from Grand Bahama. We saw just a minute ago the young lady from Andros, and Angel Pratt. She had a very, very good run as well and looking exceptionally well. And then also keep in mind, too, that you have the second race that'll be coming your way in just a moment and going from there. Okay. This is the track and field segment. We have 3 days of track and field. It's very warm, and I'm glad that the coordinators decided not to have this morning session because when I came out this morning at 9:30 this morning, boy, it was cooking. You could put an egg on the road and come back in 5 minutes and you got yourself an omelet. Just like that. But that's the kind of weather that we have. We now go to the second heat, and this one is also limited in terms of the athletes that's here. And we'll have lane 4. It's going to be from Exuma. Romika Josie, also from the Columbus Isle will be Brennan Pratt. And then we have also from Abaco, that is Quinique Penn. And from Andros out there in lane 7 is going to be Kanisha Major. And no, but Major's not there. So we only have 3 athletes that showed up, and that's lane 4, 5, and 6. And let's see what they are able to bring to the table. This is the second heat of the open women's 400 meters. And very, very quickly in the Columbus Isles, that's Brianna Pratt, who is looking very, very good there. And on the inside from Exuma, Miss Josie trying to pick up something there, and also Miss Penn from Abaco. So those are your 3 athletes there, and now this is where it really begins to hurt a little bit, but where you have to carry that speed and be able to get off the bend and be able to move very, very quickly and bring it down the line. And there she comes as she's coming off the bend, and now trying to make a run from Abaco is Penn, and Penn started to make a run at her, but nothing there, and so she's still there. She's tying up now, as we can see, Miss Pratt tying up, but again, running out of real estate here, and she will cross the line, and Pratt will cross the line and win the second heat, trying to get an official time. It looks like 56:56. So right now, they'll have to look at that one and see exactly how it's all going to come out. But a pretty good run there for the young lady. And so she is done for the day. And so we'll see exactly whatever event she will have later on. Also coming up in a little bit is going to be the discus for the under-17 boys. That's also going to be taking place, and they will have 3 attempts. And on the track, we have to now go to the open 400 meters for men. And they've got 3 heats there. And also we're finding that now the sheet they give us, and so a lot of the athletes are not actually a no-show.
I'm trying to figure what's going on. No show.
And you're representing your islands, and in this heat, you're supposed to have at least 6 athletes. You're supposed to have Demario Oliver, who was supposed to be in 3, and he's there. Also, Edison Main from Eleuthera. You have Rayvano McIntosh from Michael from Grand Bahama, Fulton Robinson from Exuma, Javon Arnett, and then also Lenny Miller will be there as well. And so the athletes have one opportunity here in order for you to either get to the medal podium. And so if you are not in that top 3, you will not get a medal here in terms of the 400 meters or the track event. So all the track events are time finals. All of the field events are 3 throws, and that's going to be it. We do also have standing by right now Jay Philippe. He's got an athlete for us. Jay, tell me who you got.
Well, Caro, I got Brianna Pratt, who just ran the 400 meter. She is the champion, the Bahama Games champion in the open division. Brianna, talk to me about the race. How you felt about your performance? You had some competition towards the end.
Sorry guys, I'm tired. Well, it was fun, just coming down to compete with the girls. This is my first time actually competing, even though it's the Bahama Games, it's my first time actually going out there and just having fun, just trying to see where I'm at. And yeah, thank God for the win.
Make sure to get some Gatorade and some water, Brianna. Columbus Eyes, Brianna Pratt is your Bahama Game champion in the women's 400 meters. Back to you guys.
Well, you can tell that's it. Oddly enough, the 400 brings out the best in you. Okay, and that means perspiration, the gasping for air, and a lot of guys get mad at us as commentators and folks calling the races. Why you wait to talk to the athletes when they're out of breath? Okay, and you do the best you can, because once the athlete leaves you, they're gone, and so you're trying to get that interview and actually to get an idea of exactly how their race went and to be able to pass that information on. We don't have a mix zone, so we don't have that luxury. Here's the first heat of the open 400 meters, and this is for the men, and they start running. That is Mr. Oliver, who's in lane 3. In lane 4 is Mr. Meme and McIntosh in lane 5. Limited field here as well. On the outside from Exuma is Javon Arnett, and also from the Bimini Berry Islands, that's Lenny Miller. So those guys out there and making a run at it, and also right there, Fulton Robinson. See if he can get around there, but on the inside of the track, looking very smooth and making something happen there, looking very good. That's Mr. DeMarco Oliver. And he's got those nice, strong stride, and he's going to get win the first heat and crosses the line. Let's see what his time, flash time for him. 50 and a smooth run, 50.6 was his time there. So for the athletes, an opportunity to run for their islands. There he is. So he's now got to sit and wait for the rest of the athletes to compete. There's actually 3 heats here. You have heats 2 and 3, and they go from there. Now, also keep in mind that you do also have the availability of water. Water is here. And you have where they're making sure that these athletes are clean and do what they're supposed to do. And so that's another thing that they're doing here as well. And so they need to go to softball.
Yeah, so.
Well, I saw some home runs leave the park yesterday. You got to go to softball. Y'all got to go to softball.
They say there's some good competition out of softball.
Hey, man, listen, I saw some balls leave the park last night. Some of them are still over in the soccer field. Okay, they're in the Davies field, and they're still sitting there in the Davies field where these guys were hitting them so long yesterday. We have also the second heat of the 400 meters, and this is the open men. You have in lane 3 will be Mr. Bernard Strawn from Andros. Representing Long Island is Danya Roberts, New Providence, Stephen Newbold, also Demario Clark of Columbus Isles, Rangan Charlton of Grand Bahama, and then there's also Lovesink Tingres of Abaco. So you've got everybody who showed up for the race. Now we'll see exactly what they're able to do here. So those are the athletes there in the 400 meters. Again, it's time finals, so they'll have to get out and run. Remember now, you have only one race, and that one race will determine gold, silver, and bronze for the competition. The good thing about all of this is that there is not going to be an overall winner of these Bahamas games. They're telling me that it's just who wins the sport.
Who wins the sport.
Specific sport. And so they'll go from there. And so there they're off and running. Very clean start here by these guys. And so we can see them now down the back stretch, looking very, very relaxed. Mr. Newbold, Stephen Newbold. And Stephen is no stranger to track and field.
He's no stranger. Olympic, world champion, junior world champion.
St. John's College Giant.
Okay. As long as it ain't soccer, you're all right.
Well, you couldn't tell he's in red.
Stephen Newbold, and Stephen has taken off. And he's taken off. I tell you, Chris Saunders in the studio, he's having a conniption right here. Tony says St. John's, but there is Stephen Newbold, and he's coming down the line, and Newbold running a very good race.
Charles Fish is having a good time.
There you go. Stephen Newbold crosses the line. And he's the winner there, and there's the rest of the field coming across, and so we're waiting for his time, and 48.3.
Oh, 48, good time.
Not bad for him. So he has a opportunity here, and that's the best time we have so far in regards to the 400 meters. Very good run there by Mr. Newbold. He's got a nice haircut, too.
Yeah.
You know, fashion is everything. And that's something we've seen during these games is that these guys are on the fashion. We saw it in baseball, these guys with these fashionable haircuts and all the gear. We've seen it over there to softball. We saw it in cycling, and tennis. You know, I understand that we do have the advent of cell phones and the videos, whatever, and you can go and see these things on TikTok and whatever the case may be. No such thing as a basic haircut today.
No.
Yeah. Man, listen, a $5 haircut? No, these fellas know how to just go.
My hair and your hair is bald.
There you go. At least that's not our problem anymore, right? We know exactly, and someday down the line, they're going to be able to appreciate what a straight cut is, but these nice haircuts that they have is also interesting. Let's go to finals in Heat 3. In Lane 1 from Eleuthera is going to be Andre Colebrook. Also, Deidre Clark of Exuma will be in 4. In 5 is going to be Quentin Ellis. Also, Matthew Chandler of Long Island is in 6. Lance Dulcine is going to be representing Columbus Island 7. And also, Brandon Davis of Abaco will be right there in Lane 8. And so for the games, guys, folks have representing their islands and heritage and running, and so we've had really a wonderful games at this juncture, and here we are in the final days, and with track and field, everyone's waiting for track and field. And Mother Nature just throw us a nice curveball. Tell the sun, wait. Yeah. Go in. Give Tonique a break. Give Tonique a break, because let me tell you something. Earlier, just a while ago, it was scorching out here. Yes. And a little bit of wind also to help in cooling us off. This is Heat 3, the fastest time so far, turned in by Stephen Newbold, 48.3. And the runners are going to be Colbert, Clark, Ellis, Challenger, Dulcine, and Davis. Those are your runners.
It's going to be fast.
Absolutely. Nice, cool afternoon for these guys, and I think the blessing here is that we were able to get the meet off, and there you go. We got a good start. Walking out of the blocks late was Brandon Davis there from Abaco. He didn't get out at all, and now in the middle of the track, here we go. You can see the speed now and running exceptionally well on the inside from Exuma. There's Clark, and also from Long Island Challenger. And he is gone. Trying to make a run now is Quentin Ellis, who is now going to see if he can catch up with him. But making that run and moving very, very well out there from Exuma is Clark. And he looks very, very strong. And down the runway he comes, and now making that challenge is going to be Clark. Clark is coming for him, but does he have enough real estate? He's looking behind to see if he's going to get crossed. Will he get crossed in time? Yes, he does. He gets across, and he gets across in 48.13. Interesting enough. So that's a pretty good run there.
really good run, right behind the time, right in front of the time that Stephen Newbold ran. So it was a really comfortable run for him. The athlete from New Providence was coming for him, but he's just seemed very comfortable in his run, and he was able to pull it off. The athlete from New Providence obviously had a lot left and just waited a little bit too long.
Yeah, okay, go from there. And 200s for these guys become a sprint, and it takes quite a bit of doing, I believe, for these athletes in order for this to happen. And so we've seen now the 3 heats. We're just waiting now for the officials to actually now post the final standings and see exactly what is what. But Exuma, Deidre Clark looked exceptionally good and winning the 3rd heat of the open 400 meters. Stephen Newbold ran a pretty good race too. He didn't run the first 150 to 200, but he did put together the second 200 very, very good. So he gets that one. And then also this DeMarco Oliver, who also ran exceptionally well, 50 point for him. So there is going to be some juggling as far as the bronze, but it looks as if it is going to be Exuma, Clark, if it holds up, and then Newbold with the silver. So we'll have to wait and see how that is going to transact. Now, also going on is the boys' discus throw. This is under 17. We have 9 competitors that's in this, and they get 3 attempts, and that's about it. There is Team Exuma up there in the stadium, and so now the action is going to be shifting to the 1,500 meters. This is Rupert's race. Rupert's 1,500 meters. I dare not allow him to go out there and run this today.
No way.
Okay.
We're
not going to go mess with that at all. But there are the young men in the discus as they are now throwing over there. We can see the athletes trying to get as many throws in. That's the athlete from Bimini and the Berry Islands. And there you go. And so we've got an interview for you. We've got Jay Philippe, who just got the winner in the 3rd heat of the 400 meters. Jay?
Yes, Ricardo, he is the winner of the 30, but has the fastest time. So unofficially, he is the Bahama Game champ. Deidre Clark representing Exuma. How does it feel to be running the fastest time out of the 3rd heat, unofficial champion?
Well, my coach just told me come out to have fun. That's what I really wanted to do and get the win for Exuma.
Towards the end, it seemed like you had some competition, but you kind of slowed down. What was that all about?
His coach told me to push him, and I looked back to see how far he was. I just wanted to encourage him to just continue going. I didn't want to pull away too far.
There you go, Clark from Exuma with the fastest time in the 3 heats. Unofficially, I would say, unless something changes, he's the Bahama Game champs. Back to you, Ricardo.
Thank you very much. And we, at one point, Tonique and Rupert, had a situation where we own the 400 meters. At one point in this country, we owned the 400 meters. Every college university in the world was looking for our athletes. And then all of a sudden, it shifted. Then we're now in the field. At one point, we had nothing in the field. Now we're in the field, and we're now getting quality athletes in the field. So that speaks well for the development side of what's happening with sports and these new faces that's coming on stream. And so for me, and I guess for you guys as well, it's a wonderful occasion.
All right, so track and field competition has started. Some hardware about to be handed out in those 400s. They also have the 400s for the 400 and 200 for the decathlon men and the 200 for heptathlon women. They also have some finals and heats for the 100s later on tonight at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. So track and field action kicking off, and you've got to see a little bit of parity there in terms of who was winning. You saw New Providence win, Michael, Exuma, so that bodes well for us here in the Bahamas with having such a diverse attack on the field. We're going to head now to the Bankers Field for some softball competition. Columbus Isles taking on Michael. Top of the 2nd, Columbus Isles taking a commanding 8-zip lead. No out right now at the top of the 2nd. Let's pick up the action with Marcellus Hall and Romiko Knowles.
So Michael would just love to get somebody off the board. Let's get an out here at some point. Here's Kerwin Scriven coming up to the plate. And they used a pitch runner for Woodside last time. I don't think they'll burn another player on this one. Scriven was looking to do some damage with that first pitch. He saw it, fouls it away. 0-1 to count to Scriven. And apparently I've been talking to myself this entire time. We are just welcoming our viewers here. Welcome to our viewers on television as we are in the midst of a one-sided blowout. Columbus Isles and Mike Cal. 8-0 is our score. Now 9-0 after that last play. Still nobody out. And here is Colbert Evans. So my correction, I understand there's one out. Down low for a ball. Evening session just getting underway here at the Bankers Field. Andros, by the way, their ladies won just before this game. Yeah, one runs inside, it's a strike, but catcher does not hold on to it. Scriven hustling on down to second. The Kyle rule once he's like, throw the ball. I had him. One is the count here. And now Evans asks for time. Getting you all caught up. It has been a one-sided offensive assault for this Columbus Isles team against the Mike Cal squad. Trey Sweeting started the business with a solo shot. And then later on, Krishad Lang came through with a grand slam to make it 5-0. Since then, it's been a steady barrage here in the top of the second. Well, late on that one, it's going to be good for a strike, and now two on him. He did get a piece of it, so it's a foul ball. One pitch. And that was ball 4. Look at that. I missed a few of them, apparently. So welcoming our visitors on 211. Those of you that were watching on channel 230, thanks for keeping us on the airwaves. And here is Krishad Lang, the man that hit a grand slam earlier. And he's going to get time. Going out to have a word with the pitcher. Maybe something wrong with the mechanics there. Let's see. And one of the rules is that as a pitcher, you have to come set. You have to pause before you can go into your motion. Maybe that's what they're telling him. That might be what they're telling Hannah. And Andrew Burrows, the home plate umpire, apparently explaining what he was telling to the coach. And we are ready to resume play. Krishad Lang at the plate as we are still in the top of the second inning. And Lang takes a big cut at that one, fouls it back. Still just one down, as you can see. Runners on first and second. Mike Cal trying to just get out of this inning. They're trailing 9-0. Andy Ford started the game on the mound and had to be replaced by Hannah. And it looks like he might have. Well, I thought that was strike 3, but not. Apparently not. Now he's got 2 strikes on him. 1 and 2 is the count. And here's the 1-2 pitch from Hannah. Misses away, 2-2. Crowd wanted that strike. Or at least the Mike Cal fans wanted that strike. Didn't get it. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Krishad Lang. And here's the 2-2 pitch coming in. Missing inside for a ball. Runners will trot on down, second and third here. So now they're both in scoring position. Base hit would score both of these runners. Kashrad Lang still batting. He's got 2 strikes on him. Full count here. And here's Hannah with the pitch. Will's comebacker to the pitcher. Now they told me 1 out, so apparently there was 2 outs, and now that's 3. So they finally get out of the inning. Top of the second, but not before Columbus Isles score another couple of runs. They're up 9-0 here. Mike Cal got some work to do as we move to the bottom of the second. Now, could he look any more interested in the game that's going on? He's sitting outside, T-shirt on. He's got his uniform, pants on.
All right, so Marcellus Hall there at softball in the Bankers Field, and that matchup going on right now. It is a blowaway. We'll see how that happens. But we're going to come back to the studio for real quick. We have Rashima Tabo talking to us about New Providence win in soccer on the men and women's side. Let's talk about the one we started to talk about. The Golden Boot went to, help me again, Kenyanique Thompson. She got the Golden Boot for most goals. Melina McClure got the Golden Glove for best goalkeeper. And Phoebe Wilson from Grand Bahama got the Golden Ball for MVP, the award.
Yeah.
That says a lot for us in terms of, well, Grand Bahama winning a MVP award.
Yes.
That we are starting to see better involvement of women in soccer.
Yes, it was a great, even though our team numbers were low in terms of participating, but with even the fact that having women playing in soccer and having them participate in the Bahama Games, it was a great experience for the women and also a great opportunity for the other islands that when the chance comes, probably next Bahama Games, that we can have more women participating and putting us women on the map for soccer also.
I know that one of FIFA's push is to have more women participation in soccer. How is this going to help the Bahamas Football Association to get to that point?
Well, coming into Bahama Games, we also was bringing our Women's Soccer League to an end. So we came straight out of our Women's Soccer League, straight into Bahama Games. And throughout the season, it was a great opportunity. We had more women participating, younger females participating, and with the development with that, and if we keep that consistent, keeping more opportunities for them to play, it will keep the game for women's soccer alive and going, I feel, continuously throughout.
I know, very quick, the BFA has been having some challenges with the women's league just because of interest.
Yes.
Does this help to build that interest back?
I feel so, and I feel this is a good opportunity for them to capitalize on it. Now seeing other family islands also having, and even with high school nationals and those getting more involvement throughout our family islands, bringing them together, they can now see more females and, you know, more encouragement. Other females see hey, this is a real thing.
This is a real thing. I can do this.
Yeah.
All right, team, when we get back to you, we'll talk about some of that men's action where the New Providence team won the men's competition as well. We're going to head over now to boxing, where the hardest working man in sports today, Ramiko Knowles, is there at the C.I. Gibson gym. With the clash there, sometimes you may feel as if there's boxing matches on the soccer pitch, but we've got real boxing here now. Ramiko Knowles at C.I. Gibson.
There's a jab, another jab. Oh, the body shots coming in there. Some more body shots from Latino Smith. Another good hit, a great hit by Milton Newbold of Exuma. Throughout the course of the next 3 days, including today, we will be witnessing bouts from Bahamian, 26 years of age in all the classes. Bahamas Just for a point of information, all bouts from 16 years old and under will not be counted as points towards the Bahamas game. Only towards the Bahamas games. And so what we're witnessing now is Latino Smith and Milton Newbold. And the jabs are going in.
Each of these rounds will be 2 rounds. As they continue.
Some great jabs there by Milton Newbold. And just for more information, there's the bell. And that will conclude round number 1.
Great participants, great performance by both fighters.
Get in on this.
And as mentioned, I'm joined by former amateur standout boxer, former Olympian and world title contender, Toriano Johnson. Tell us about the fight that you just witnessed. That was the first round. We have a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, and Agua Zuma going head-to-head. Like what you see so far?
Oh, well, you know, first of all, I got to give the Almighty God thanks. But indeed, what an explosive fight we just had there. Mike Cobb versus New Providence. Oh, Latino Smith, no doubt. You know, he came out there and he did what I figured he's supposed to do. Milton, you know, he just went there and he came back, you know, good body work, but hey, Latano was out there and he was using those counter right hands. Very mature for such a young kid. Yeah, this is turning out to be an exciting bout. And most of the time it is the younger ones who tend to be the show stealer.
Correction, Milton Newbold is there for New Providence, not Exuma. So this is Inagua and Exuma. And once again, these, as they begin the second round, and he's dressed in the red, and that's New Providence Buccaneers. Now this will be a 10-point bust system. The winner must get 10 points for knockouts before the fight is stopped. After 3 warnings, it will be stopped. We have, for the under 16s, all rounds will be about 2 minutes, and the best ringmanship will win. So here we go. More jabs coming in. There you go. Milton Newbold just throwing the hands and making sure those punches connect to the head of Latino Smith. It's important to mention as well that combinations demonstrates more skills and will give you more points. 3 points for body shots with combinations. That's another one to the head of Milton Newbold, and Latino Smith is just laying them on him. And we have a lot of fan participation in getting involved. The strike zone for these young men is the head, torso, and stomach. Now, just for more information, because I know that you're watching this, throwing punches does not mean that you will get points. Clean hits with knuckles are what the judges are looking at. And that is good. And 10 points will decide the winner. And that is the end of round number 2. And both fighters will go to their corners. Coaches will now speak to them. That was round number 2. Tell us about it.
Man, I must tell you, what the teams were doing, Inago had just decided to press gas, and indeed they pressed the gas. The red corner, he came out with a good game plan, had his guard up, but I figured, he could have used a little bit more energy while Inago, he went out there and he let his hands go this round. This fight seems to be a very close one-on-one right now, going into the very final round, which is the third round. Hey, I don't know, anyone can grab it this round.
Now, I was speaking to one of the coaches earlier. He said, now, you may see that a lot of fighters will throw punches, but punches don't necessarily mean points. You have to have a clean hit with the knuckle, and that will give these fighters points. And so just because we see a lot of wild punches or wild jabs being thrown, it doesn't necessarily mean that that person is going to win.
Oh, no, definitely. The punch has to be correct to land on the knuckles, no slapping. But, hey, it seems though Inagua took that round very clean, and this is the winning round here between Inagua and New Providence. Who's going to take it, I don't know.
Referee telling both fighters to touch gloves once again, and that is a good punch in there by Milton. That's another one by New Providence, getting to the face of Latino Smith. Talk about some of the leg work that you're seeing here.
For such a young kid, them just under 15 years old, these kids are showing great defense, great leg work, good hand speed. In the same time, of course, they have a lot of brushing up they have to do. But remember, these are just young kids, these are the future. These are our future fighters who are doing extremely well for such young kids.
And what kind of stamina do you need to keep this going? I know it's just 2-minute rounds, but the stamina that they're displaying right now.
Well, boxing is a sprint. It's a long sprint, not a 100-meter dash, not even an 800 dash. It is a long sprint. And indeed, you have to have incredible stamina to go out there, throw over 500 punches around in 3 minutes. That's nothing to joke with.
So even as amateurs, that's the amount of punches that they're throwing, about 500.
That's indeed, of course, professional boxers like me, we probably only throw like about, 70, 80 punches. But these kids out here, you look at the punches they're throwing, I'm certain that each one of those rounds were more than 100 punches.
There you have. The persons in the audience in the stands are on their feet. And that looked like the family members of...
I don't know who got it.
Latino Smith from New Providence. Remember, folks, it's only 2-minute rounds for the under 16 age groups.
That was an awesome job by Mr. Nunez, New Bowl. Oh my goodness!
And that is it. The third and final round. Both fighters will go to their corner. And after the fights is when the referee would decide the winner. He would go to the judges and check the scorecard, and they will announce the winner.
Well, the good part about it isn't the referee who calls the fight. It's the judges. The referee is in there just to protect the fighters against even themselves. But we have 5 judges on the ring side. You have 2 on each side, and just one in one corner by himself. And and this gives you a better look at the fight. Where in some areas, you can't see it from where I'm at, but another judge can notice it. So you have enough judges inside there to notice who's going to win this fight. Of course, this fight right here is a very tough one, a very close call. Who takes it is very hard to tell.
There's a replay action for you. In slow-mo, here we go. New Providence in the red. Exuma. Latino Smith, clothed in the black. Colleague Sheen Stubbs is also standing by. He will be getting an interview with the fighter who was announced as the winner, which we're about to find out in just a few moments. Score sheets are now being gathered by Gregory McPhee. Hand it over to the officials, and they will tally up the votes, and then we will know who the winner of this bout is. And as I mentioned earlier, we talked about this a little bit earlier as well. Those fighters ages 16 and under the points will not go towards the Bahama Games. They will, all of the fighters so far will get medals. The ages under 16 will get medals, and the fighters 15 and up, those fighters and those points will be geared towards the Bahamas Games.
Yes, indeed. You know, that's the point system that they had set forth for boxing now. You know, you have to be 16 and
All right, so we're having a little bit of technical difficulties at the C.I. Gibson gym, but they have started boxing competition there with our Miko Knowles. It is going to go right down to the wire to see what's going on with that. Again, we said we still have softball going on today, basketball going on today, but we are going to go see if track and field has gotten started, at the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium. So again, we are starting to hand out medals. There will be some medals handed out in track and field. And like we said, Grand Bahama still leading with 142 medals. They got 131 of those medals just from swimming. And so things can really turn if the medals start to pile up in track and field the same way that it did in swimming. New Providence got 112 of their 132 medals overall in swimming, and then 62 gold medals is just 4 short of the 66 that Grand Bahama has at this point. That's what they got from swimming. And then New Providence got 30 gold at swimming out of their 41 in total. So we're starting to come down to the back end of the Bahamas Games, and like we said, we will have soccer has completed, but we still have volleyball that is completed. Swimming has completed, cycling has completed, boxing is taking off, and we're going to get ready to start awarding some medals and getting into the medal round for basketball and softball very soon. Basketball will wrap up on Saturday day, and it looks as if we will wrap up on Saturday evening with soccer. We're going to head back now to the C.I. Gibson gym for the winner of this match.
Performances by the athletes of the Bahamas spread across the various disciplines that they all performed in, and at the moment it's now boxing on today. So here is the winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, now put your hands together for Latario Smith.
Latino Smith of Maical was announced as the winner of this bout, taking down Milton Newbold of New Providence, but an excellent fight by both young men representing their islands here today. There you see some of his family members and standing by just cheering him on. There is Milton Newbold of New Providence, clothed in the red, going back to his corner, but still an excellent fight for him. And the winner, ladies and gentlemen, Latinos, that's Milton Newbold, rather, of New Providence. Latino Smith announced as the winner. Our colleague Sheen Stubbs will attempt to get an interview with the 13-year-old.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with Latino Smith, the winner of the first bout here of boxing here at the Bahamas Games at the C.I. Gibson Gym. A very, very close fight for you. Just talk about your mindset going into this one.
I think it's really awesome, and the way he is throwing, it was good. But I had the focus, and I was thinking the slip, move out the way, keep far, so he can't score that much points on me and stuff like that. But I want to thank my coach for all the support and all that stuff, and all my teammates and stuff.
You look for the decision with the win. Just talk a little bit now. What's your mindset moving forward?
I really got much to say, right? But I think I might follow boxing in my future career, or soccer, either.
Hey, a kid of many talents. So, as he looks forward to his career, you look forward to the rest of these fights. Miko, back to you.
Thank you so much, Shane, standing by with the winner of the first bout of the night, Latino Smith of Michael, 13-year-old taking that one. And like we said, that was an excellent fight just now.
All right, congratulations there to Michael's Latino Smith giving us the new phrase of the night. Either. He says he's going to either stay with boxing or focus on soccer, but he still has a lot ahead of him. He was able to defeat New Providence's Milton Newbold, who picked up the silver medal at these Bahamas games. Again, we said a lot going on. We're going to head back over to the Thomas A. Robinson National Stadium, where I think that's high jump for heptathlon that's going on for women. So we're going to pick it up now with Ricardo Lightbourne with the call at the National Stadium.
The high jump is another story. We haven't seen that breakthrough athlete yet in the high jump. Is it coming? Is it around the corner?
It's around the corner. We have some good high jumpers. Female, you know? I think it's in the making. Jumpers. It's in the making.
Okay. The guys we have in high jump, they want to be basketball players.
Yeah.
Okay, but there ain't nothing happening. If you want to go to school, okay, you go and you look at track and field. If you could dunk, you could jump. All right, and it's just a matter of learning the technique and then being able to go from there and see exactly how you're able to put it together. Back in the day, you had the scissors, and now you're up to the flop. And you have some athletes that are still engaged in doing the scissors, and so for them that's fine, but the flop is a very technical jump, and you can't be afraid. Okay. That's like pole vaulting. You can't be afraid. You got to learn how to fly without wings. Oh yeah, don't worry. I've had my fair share of dropping on the ground. Probably why I'm crazy. Drop on my head in the box and stuff, but that's about it. All right, trying to get this attempt here is Miss Pratt. Let's see what she does here. Oh, wow, she had it, but just brushed it over, and I think she has one more attempt at this height, and they know they get the 3 attempts.
Yeah, she does appear to be struggling.
Yeah, that left leg. Look as if she's limping somewhat, eh?
That's it. It looks like she's hurt.
We have to remember it is July. It's very, very late in the season. They would have competed all year for their clubs, for Carifta. She was a Carifta athlete.
And then, they had school competition.
Right.
So, it's a long season.
Yeah,
it's a long season.
Very long.
But they want to be here. They want to represent their island with the Bahama Games. And so if she is experiencing some discomfort, it's just because she wants to be here and be able to represent her island.
You're going to sit in on some of these meetings after we would leave here. The combining of the high school nationals and the Carifta trials as we did this year. Your take on that?
I think in the future, I don't think that will happen again.
Why?
You should separate the high school nationals and the Carifta trials. You have to set dates for them. So, because you have athletes of the school competing at the trials. So then that can't happen. You have to have the
yeah, but I understand that, okay? I understand what you're getting at, and the fact that some of the athletes that's abroad in colleges and in schools are not going to get to the trials in any event, okay? But, Rupert, you live in New Providence, okay? You ride from Fox Hill to Lyford Key. You got to fly from Grand Bahama, from Long Island, from Eleuthera, and other places in here, and then turn around and come right back the next week.
It was all about scheduling,
Okay.
That's the problem, scheduling.
Well, that's just it, and that's the problem that we in the islands, and I'm going to bat for the family island, because that's what y'all call Grand Bahama, family island. So I'm going to go for a bat for them, because that's what it is. It's difficult for a parent to send their child to the high school championships with their schools, okay? And they got to go to their schools because they're looking for the title. And then you turn around and have to send them back again for the trials.
Yeah, but the government take care of the high school nationals. The government paid for those athletes to come here.
Okay, so let the government pay for them to come back again next year.
I don't think that'd be fair for the government.
The government,
the government?
only pays for the high school nationals. The government doesn't pay for them to come for trials. So
Right.
they are only paying once.
Okay. Either way, I still pulling for us not have to travel up and down. Okay, so we're trying to work on that.
Yeah, we work on
and
that.
whatever, and the excitement that we had, I just love the intensity. It was fantastic. Yes, you had some diamonds in the rough, and to go from there. And then when you do the post-mortem for the track season, then you can go back and look at how do you now go and change some things. We're going to go to 100 meters. This is the under-17 girls, and they are going to run 3 heats, guys. And they will start off in lane 2 with Unique Lewis of Exuma. Also, Savannah Frazier of Long Island will be in lane 3. Lane 4 from the Berry Islands will be Samaya Bethel. From Andros, Danasia Turnquest is right there. Also, Kadisha Wright of Eleuthera. And then from Abaco will be Shari Hart. Those are the runners right there in doing so. So, Rupert, when you get in a meeting and you tell Mr. Archer, your president, Ricardo Lightbourne said, okay, and I'll jump on west of there, Bahamas NB in a heartbeat to back you up. There's 100 meters competitors. These are the under-17 girls, and going from there and making some things happen. And if I didn't tell you, you know, Tonique is also now a coach and has a program, and so she is giving back like many have done so. And that's one of the peeve I have about many of the athletes who have walked away from the sport
and
have given nothing back, not even $1, not even a time, and anything else. They just walked away when so many people have supported them and been there for them for many, many years and making them the athletes they are, and they've seen the world, and then they just walk away and don't care.
No, and don't worry, never even come back to the track.
See, and then the hurtful part is, right, they go underneath the bridge by Porter's-Key and brag what they used to do.
Yeah. Then they call you on the phone and say, hey, Coach God, you remember I used to do this? They got their friends in the background.
So I'm now a retired coach, but one thing I want to mention is that I would have seen Donisha Anderson, who was also a 400-meter runner, represent the Bahamas at the Olympics in the 400 meters. And so that was a proud moment for me.
Yeah.
And just this year, Alexis Gray, also a St. John's College athlete, she was recruited by the WWF, you know, and so that was through her athletic prowess. And so it's just joy when you're able to mentor and to feed into these children, and then as adults you can see them flourish in whichever way they choose to. I think she would be one of the first athletes we've ever had in the WWF, and so we're making history in that way.
There you go.
But again, it came through the avenue of track and field and sports.
Since you mentioned that, Willie Seymour, okay, was our housemate and our roommate in college in St. Augustine's in North Carolina. Willie was also a discus thrower and shot putter, and Willie went into professional wrestling along the way, and they call him the Hulk.
Yeah.
Here we go to 100 meters, folks. And again, here we go, Lewis, Frazier, Bethel, Turnquest, Wright, and Hart. Those are the runners in the first heat. These are all time finals in the 100 meters. And the athlete right there from Long Island, I think that's going to be from the Berry Islands. Right. That's going to be Bethel.
See, now, what happened is that she didn't know anything about the blocks.
No.
Before they even started, you see she jumped the gun.
Yes.
Now, are they going to allow her to compete? Because one jump you out the competition.
Right.
Well,
so I think they should allow her.
They're going to now talk to her, and there's a conversation. Okay, and so they're going to leave her and go from there and tell her, listen, you know, you have to wait and stay in the blocks until it's time for you to run. And there she is, Miss Bethel, a bit nervous. And, yep, everybody be nervous at this juncture. You know, this is an important event. You come all the way from Bimini to Berry Islands to represent your island district. Okay? And there they go, they're in the blocks. The command. And if they want to stand up. Okay.
Yeah, because they're not getting set. They have to be still.
Her position is just not comfortable in the block.
Yeah.
So when they tell her get set, she has no other choice but to get up, when she should just be moving slightly up and forward. And so that's the difficulty she's having right now, and it's impacting all the other athletes.
Right. I see now the official, the starter is going to explain to her what's going on, what she have to do.
Right.
But again, this is some of the issues we have when you don't have equipment in the islands.
Absolutely.
Right, that's another thing.
Absolutely.
And
Has she ever used blocks before?
That's it.
Probably
That's
the first time she see blocks in the
There
life.
you go. There you know. So it's something new.
And maybe we
for her.
should allow her not to use the blocks.
That's what I said
should
now.
be an
Right, and then
option.
just take it away and just let her just run without having any kind of an impediment. Yeah, she goes, and even though she just jumped up and run.
Yeah. Matter of fact, she was run.
There you go. There's Miss Turnquest. Out there running well, Fraser and Turnquest, and boy, she just simply ran away with this one. Miss Turnquest from Andros. 12.7 seconds was her time. Not bad. So again, this is a teaching exercise as well, I think, which is also very, very important for the athletes. And we've seen that in just about all of the events. We saw it in swimming, where the kids were given instructions in regards to how they're able to move and go from there. And so that helps a lot. Okay, and so we are now getting some information for you. We can tell you that Ashton Moxie won the under-17 javelin, and also second. No, these are just the athletes. No, and there's no distance to those. No. Let me put these aside and hold them over there. We're still waiting for the results to come in. They have told me that you can get the results online, and you don't want to give me free Wi-Fi. I must use my
use some of that time. Yeah, use your data. You have a plan, or you
Listen, who paid this bill? Let's go, guys, to the second heat. And Myra Brennan from Bimini Barry Islands will be in lane 1. Also, Gibbon Miller from Eleuthera in lane 2. Jasmine McKinney from Grand Bahama in 3. Jasmine Bain from Columbus Island running 4. Also, Keishoa Bow of Abaco. And then you've got Laquita Hanna from Exuma. So those are your runners there in heat number 2. These are time finals, okay? And so anything can happen here. And for these athletes, the opportunity to compete, which is a wonderful opportunity for them. And so some things will go from there. Now let's see how this crew and the young lady there from the inside, who is from the Berry Islands, has a lot of tape. She's got that tape all on her knees. And she and I must have the same problem. I need plenty of tape on mine. Runners are in the blocks. Okay, getting out of the blocks and running very quickly. Boy, I think it's the tape, because here she goes, Miss Brennan. Broad State Miss Brennan wins heat number 2. From the Bimini and the Berry Islands.
Certainly a lot different from her teammate from the previous race.
Absolutely. So I could tell that.
12.
Yeah, 12.74.
12
was her time. The first time for the young lady from Andros was 12.70. And so we'll see how that all pans out there. That's pretty good for them. And the under-17 girls, as the third heat, will be coming your way shortly. And there's a replay. And you can see how she gets out there. And you could tell the training that she has had, very smooth running through the 100 meters.
Solid technique.
There you go. Very good technique.
Yeah, she had a good technique.
Absolutely. Fantastic. We saw also at the high school, at the B3A's Nationals, I took in some of that and watching some of the athletes, and I saw Anthony Strawn. I'm amazed how how the coaching folks have really restructured her running ability, and she's done wonders in terms of how she's been able to run and to go from there.
Yeah, Anthony has been one who has certainly struggled with her technique since she was a junior athlete. She has really, really long legs, and as a sprinter, sometimes it's very difficult for you to get those legs to come from under you very quickly when you have to go so fast. And so the time that she spent to really work on her technique has really paid off dividends.
Absolutely.
And you can see that she's running so much better, so much faster, and now we're really seeing her develop into the athlete that she's always meant to be.
And she's doing a very, very good job. I was impressed in the way that she ran over there in 100 meters, running into a headwind, which was absolutely fantastic. Well, heat 3 of the time finals for you in lane 2 will be Kevin E. Campbell of Columbus Owls, Rochelle Moxie of Andros, Janaea Nabi of New Providence, and she's also been running exceptionally well. Also, Shamanda Merritt of New Providence, and also Zaya Frazier from Long Island. Mike Al has got Janaea McKinney, so the speed is in the middle of the track. Ms. Nabi, who has had a good year as well.
Yeah, she's
so far.
the champion.
And so she has been running a lot, and so for her, when she finishes running this race, she's going to have an interview with Jay. She's going to go to Disney World. She's had such a very, very long season.
Yeah, this would be her first race that I'm seeing her after the Carifta Games, but she was such a show-out athlete for these Carifta Games.
Absolutely.
We really celebrated her, and I hope that she has a good Bahamas Games.
There she goes, and out the blocks, and she's just cruising. You could tell she's just out there for a good run, and she got to remember now, this is time final, so she needs to get across the tape.
Yeah, she cruised just now.
Yeah, she was running pretty well. Let's see what her time is there. It'll come up 12.10. Okay.
So she should be the champion.
That's the goal.
Way ahead of the pack. Just so easy.
Yep, that's
just
the
what we
goal.
saw at Carifta,
yeah,
and nothing much has changed since.
Yeah, just a little jog in the park for her. No big deal. Just, we end up doing that and going from there and see what happens. And they'll go over and get something to drink and to go from there. And so for her, it's been a wonderful time, 12.10 thus far. And so we'll see how it works. We now go to the boys, and they are becoming quickly. And the boys, the heats there. The first heat will be Dejan Moxie of Exuma, Terrence Winder from the Bimini Berry Islands, Dizon Curry of Exuma, Kaya Collins of Eleuthera, Columbus Isle. Let's get Oriane Tyson and Isaiah Brown will be from MyCal in that manner. But what I do like, though, is the fact that for our athletes who have been able to represent us in terms of the Carifta and also from the various other events, much has happened. And then, too, you got the World Championship coming your way.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's going to be in Doha.
Budapest.
Budapest, sorry.
Yeah.
Budapest, Hungary. I want to make sure that is done. And then for a number of our athletes that are still overseas, they also were down south in the CAC competition. This has been a busy year.
Yeah, this is it's supposed to be an off year, but it's a busy year because now they have the under 23. It's in Costa Rica. A team just left this morning to Dominican Republic under 15 team, youth team. Then you have the Pan Am Junior. Then you have the Commonwealth Youth. So much games coming on this year.
It'll be all over the place. But for Tony, how do you feel at this point that you don't have to pack? Because we saw when you were running, every week you were going somewhere. But let's quickly go to Jay Philippe, who has Ms. Nabi, and then we'll come back to you on that point, okay? Jay?
Shemaya, 12.10 seconds. You are the Bahama Games champion, Carifta champion, and now you're doing it for New Providence. How do you feel about the race?
It wasn't a hard race. I didn't want to go too hard because I have competition next week for knockout games. So I didn't want to hurt myself or risk any injuries.
How do you mentally prepare yourself knowing that you have a major competition coming up, an international competition, but also wanting to represent your home island of New Providence while preparing for international meets?
Really just rely on God, pray for an injury-free race, and it was still always fun. and free uniform.
There you have it from Nabi, the under-17 girls 100-meter champion. She's an elite athlete with a bright future in track and field. Back to you guys.
I tell you, she said it best, man. Let's go to 100 meters for the boys, and then we'll come back in a minute. This is Moxie, Winder, Curry, Collins, Tyson, and Brown. The under-17 boys are Heat 1 of their time finals, and they'll come up and they'll go from there. Like she said, free uniform.
She put the uniform, free uniform.
Yeah. You blame her?
Yeah.
Free uniform. You know, you get your uniform and go from there. And so she didn't say it. She wanted to say it for you, Rupert. You get a free shirt.
You get a free shirt.
Oh, boy, let me tell you. Fantastic. Our young people.
She's just a young,
yes,
nice young lady.
They make us feel real good about the way life is for them. And she knows very well that before her, the same thing occurs for many other athletes, and she, too, can enjoy the moment. Under 17 boys, 100 meters, Moxie, Winder, Curry, Collins, Tyson, and Brown in that order. First of 3 heats, and these are all time the finals. So we'll see who's able to win this one. Out the blocks they come, and from Eleuthera, Collins gets out, but he's going to be chased from Columbus Isles by Tyson. Collins and Tysons, Collins and Tysons, Collins and Tysons. Wow, what a race that one was for these 2 young men. And yep, they'll give it to Tyson, 11.56.
11.56.
And so he was able to win that one.
He's holding his hand high, man. He's so proud.
There you go. There's the start. It comes out. There he goes. And boy, you know, you got, and for them too now, remember now, this is an important heat because they were able to push each other. And so they were able to push each other to the line, which is absolutely fantastic for them. And that also brings out the best in the athletes. And remember, that's luck of the draw. Who was in the heats with you in order to pull you through, in order to get you there and make it happen. And so, you know, for the young lady who stated that she just wants to get her a uniform, she got plenty of traveling to do.
Yes.
Right? As Tarnika did doing when she was in the junior level, and now even at the senior level, all you do is come home, take something out, put something back in, and you're gone again. Yeah. And so that's the way it works in this business.
She's just getting started.
Yeah.
One thing I love about her is that she's not bothered in the blocks. She's not bothered in the race. She's not bothered in the interview. An athlete like that can run forever because this is just fun for her, you know. And so I've never witnessed a 100-meter runner because 100 is about power, it's about energy, it's about, you know, being excited, you know. And I don't see any of that with
No. She's quite relaxed and whatever. That's what I remember when Carl Lewis came here to the Bahamas and he ran, and we was over there to the old Thomas and Robinson Stadium. This kid was so wound up as if he. Like, hold on, man. Relax. You're in the Bahamas, you know. Calm down. Calm down. You know, and so it took a number of the athletes to tell him, you know, just relax, Kyle. Relax, okay? You're in the Bahamas, man. Let your hair down. Well, back then he had hair. You don't have none now. But let your hair down, man, and see what happens and go from there. But that's how these 100 meters runners are. You see Tyson and the rest of them, they so wired? No, man. The only other one that wasn't wired was Usain. Usain was a fan, a pleaser, and so he was that kind of calm person and going from there, and so he learned. Now, coming up in this heat is going to be Jason Smith from Long Island, Randy Olbrook from Bimini-Berry Islands. Andros is going to be represented by Antonio Gomez. Dylan Pennerman, also Quentin Gordon is in this race from Grand Bahama, and then also you have Tyron Giles as well, who is going to be running in this one. I can remember the broadcast we did with Carifta when Usain Bolt came into the Bahamas and running the 2 and the 4. He was this little shy, bony kid. Didn't say much, but boy, could he run. Now he has been the talk of the world. He made track and field a household scenario. Big-time star. Man, listen, that's how it goes. And so we'll be able to do that. Here we go, guys. We'll see what happens here with this one. We know that 11.56 is the time to beat. We'll see what happens here in this one. Here they are: Smith, Olbrook, Gomez, Pennerman, Gordon, and also St. Jules out of Apico. Heat 2, and the under-17 boys, 100 meters. Getting out quickly is Gordon. Let's see what happens here, but on the outside, yes. Quentin Gordon pulling away. Quentin Gordon from Grand Bahama, yes, and he will cross the line, 11.12. So Quentin Gordon, 11.12, not bad. And he is right there. There you go. Thank God for his mother. His dad can't run 100 feet. That's Quentin Gordon from Set, and that's our cameraman from Grand Bahama. That's his son, you know, and he has Q out there to practices every day. This one, Daddy takes the practice. Okay. That one I know, Daddy takes the practice. I'm seeing Quinn go out there and take his son to practice, and so that has worked out as well. Also coming up in Heat 3 from Abaco is going to be Philip Lubin, Warren Hudson from Eleuthera, Grand Bahama, Aiden Kelly. Ishmael Roll will run for New Providence, and he'll be in lane 4. Tico Hanna from Long Island, New Providence, Everett Frazier. Also Cairo McPhee from Andros and Columbus Isles will be O'Shane Tyson in that order. So we got a full field again running for time and go from there. Oh, we could update you guys. We can tell you that the under-17 high jump again as Tyler Pratt from Andros, 1.55. Also Kennedy Hanna, New Providence, 1.50. And from Exuma, it was Paris Roll winning then 1.40 meters in that event. We saw the triple jump under 17 girl. Zoe Adderley, New Providence, won the gold at 10.33. And then also from Grand Bahama, Alexia Bullard is the silver medalist. Gold under 17 shot put. We saw these girls earlier. The young lady from Andros, Para George, who's also training here in New Providence, won the gold. The silver to Daniel Nixon, New Providence, and the bronze to Kaylee Scavala. There's your full field in Heat 3 of the 100 meters. 8 runners. Gate number 3. Lubin, Hudson, Kelly, Roll, Hanna, Frazier, McPhee, and Tyson in that order. Under 17, 100 meters. Everybody wants to be a sprinter at some point. And for these guys, yeah, this is the, you know, because it's by the grandstand. Yeah. Okay? You want to be by the grandstand, everybody by the grandstand. And when you get back to school, you know, they be saying, boy, you look good in that 100 meters, man, you know, and so your head get big. You're the big kid on the campus, man.
You're Bahama Games champion.
There you go. Big kid on the
This is our Olympics.
This is it.
This is our Olympics. The Bahamas Olympics.
It's at 11.12 so far. The best time that we have here in the 100 meters for the under-17 boys. Let's see what this group is able to do. Lubin, Hudson, Kelly, Roll, Hanna, Frazier, McPhee, and Tyson. And we're going to get a jump. And that's going to be Everett Frazier.
I think that's the first one we've seen for
the first one.
You know, he could come from the Frazier Clyde, but all the Fraziers run.
That's it. There's a whole house full of them,
yeah,
eh?
A whole house full of them.
Oh boy. Yeah, he was off and running, and anticipation in terms of how that's going to work out. We saw in the NCAAs, which was held recently, you got to sit in the blocks and wait, wait for the call. And the rule change was beneficial in order to stop the psychological stuff that goes on 100 meters in terms of jumping out. You have to have 2 jumps to jump out. Man, you be there all day.
But that was 3 jumps.
Here you be there all day trying to figure out who's going to win this one. Here we go. We go back now to the restart with Lubin, Hudson, Kelly, Roll, Hanna, Frazier, McPhee, and Tyson in that order. At the time to beat, 11.12. That was just turned a minute ago by Quentin Gordon. That's a clean start. And getting out very, very quickly, Ishmael Roll. And he's going to be challenged by Aiden. And Roll runs across the line. Ishmael Roll. This time. They'll bring it up. Tell you what it is in just a moment. 10.69. So that's your champion.
He's a champion.
There you go.
And not a bad time. You can see he's really excited about it.
There you go. Congratulations to go around like crazy. Oh, boy, fantastic. There is the start.
As a matter of fact, he's traveling with the under-20 team to Costa Rica.
There you go, and he looks very good.
He's a crifter champion also.
Yeah, he looks very good. I can tell his poise and nice little run. Just want to make sure you get across the finish line.
Stroll in the park.
Yeah, stroll in the park. Okay, stroll in the park. And so just like how we saw with Nabi, you know, we just want to make sure we cross the finish line and get your free uniform. And then you can put it up
For 22 years.
and call it a day. Oh, man, I just love it, man. You get your free uniform. That one will go down in history. I'm running for the team just to make sure I get a free uniform. Let me tell you, we saw in the women's triple jump representing Andros, Tamaya Myers, also 12.54 meters. Also, April Adderley of Exuma gets the silver, 11.10 meters, and also Ariana Gomez, Columbus Isles, 10.28. As far as the boys discus, that was not right over there from us. Linwood Brown, New Providence, 30.6 meters, and then also Salen Riley of Andros, 30.2, and for New Providence, Jalen Stewart, and going from there. And so we've got Jay Philippe standing by, and he's got a very excited young man. Let's find out what he's got to say about winning the 100 meters. Okay? Jay?
Speak about exciting. Ishmael rolled 10.59 seconds. Now, that was a false start. How was you able to still mentally prepare and be able to execute your race?
Well, the false start didn't bother me because I didn't know it wasn't me, so therefore I would not care. I do wish my competitors good luck, but I didn't want to lose my composure and end up losing.
Yes, you are the Bahamas game champion. Now I know you have a few international events coming up. What are those events and how you expect to do?
The other events are knockout, under 18, and Panam. I expect to do better, but I do here.
There you have it, Ishmael Roll, your Bahama Games champion. Back to you guys, Ricardo.
Okay, he's going to collect all kinds of uniforms.
Yeah.
But I really liked what he said. He said that he wasn't worried about the athlete jumping. He knew it wasn't him. And I think as you're traveling to these international meets and you're preparing yourself and you're getting sharp, you want to make sure that these type of scenarios you're preparing for. And so I think this is great exposure for him, a great experience. He sounds like he's ready and prepared to bring home a gold.
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go. This is the women. This is the open women 100 meters, and you have Janaea Andrews from Berry Islands, Quanta Curry of Exuma, Shanna Hasty of Luthra, Denisha Cartwright, also Terrell Miller, Bernice Charlton, Tiana Boodle, and also Bernice Hanna. And they're running and right in the middle of the track, running all the way through for Andrews. Hey, young Tarnell Miller from Andrews will win that one. Again, two heats and little celebration there, little smiles from our athletes. And free uniform. Columbus.
Yeah, free uniform.
There you go. They got free uniforms, man. So they are feeling pretty good about that. And so that helps out and makes our athletes feel pretty good about their performances and how they're able to get through. We can tell you, guys, that we saw earlier, Shanna Adderley, Grand Bahama, 59.37 for the under-17 girls 400 meters. Silver to Krista Ford of New Providence, and also Raisha Penty. And there she is. There is the race. Beautiful stride there as well. And coming to the tape. Let's see. That's going to be close.
Very close. Very close.
Very close. And she got it. The Golden Isles, 12.21. And so she nipped her at the tape. And so what a good run there for Miss Avanish Charlton to get in there and win that one at 12.28. Not bad. Now we get ready to go to heat number 2. Some no-shows we see here as well. We can tell lane 1 will be Nikanta Smith from Exuma. In lane 2, and missing from Abaco is Charlize Lightbourne, and Andros, Lydia Clark is there. In lane 3, Camille Rutherford of New Providence. In 4 and 5 will be Chatalia Dorset of Grand Bahama, Long Island, Zaria Stapleton, and then also from Columbus Isle, Peter Storr, and from Eleuthera, Andrea Sabim. I think that's the way you pronounce it. but we'll get it right. Rupert's going to call this one for me. Heat 2.
I don't want to be biased.
No, okay. Don't be biased then, Rupert. We're going to leave that because you get the free shirt.
Yeah.
We're going to leave that just like that. I tell you, this is the second heat. The first heat of the girls was well from my Cal up in East Charlton. Snuck right in there and with a 12.28. And so the athletes all given some instructions by the starters just to make sure that they understand that, listen, you need to stay in the blocks and see what happens and go from there. A lot of work been done to the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium to get it prepared as they have done so for the Carifta games and now for these games. At one point, thinking that the stadium would be ready in time. It's great that we are in the National Stadium for our Bahamas games. 100 meters, second heat, open. It's jumping right out in a hurry, just like that, and moving forward is Kennard Rutherford, and she is rolling. She is taking nothing for granted. She is rolling high knee left, and she comes through.
She's also going to the under 23 national.
11-6. There you go. I want to hear what she has to say. She is comfortable, high knee lift, that drive to go through. And you can see that she has been doing quite a bit of work. Good start there as well. Getting a bit of a challenge early, but once she got out there in that 40-meter mark, and she was just gone and just simply just moving. So you could tell her training at this point, and that hand up in the air. Okay. She's been watching TV. See how the big girls do it. See how the big girls do it, Tony. Put that hand up and run through and going from there. And that's exactly what we've seen as you watch the IAAF series that has been around the European area, and to go from there. And don't forget also that the World Relays will come back here. Sebastian Coe has been advocate for keeping this here in this part of the world because everything is in Europe, okay? And now to have an event over here in this part of the world at sea level will work well, and to go from there. I'm going to tell you that you guys have to make sure now, okay, make sure that the African runners show up on time. The last relays we had, they over there at Atlantis, walking through the underwater park, because, you know, half of them don't see fish. You know, and you got all the fish and everything, the dolphins and whatnot. It's like, hold on, listen, you guys got to track me. No, not them. They're having a ball. And then having then the junk canoe, the advent to allow them to also run straight through. Jay Philippe standing by with our winner today. Jay, what you say?
Yes, I'm joined by Camille Rutherford, who's no stranger again to track and field. We all know the history, family history. You are the Bahama Games champion. I know you competed at University of Houston for a while, now at Texas A&M. To come here, to be able to win for New Providence, how does it make you feel?
I feel good, and I'm just carrying on Frank Rutherford's legacy. And yeah, I mean, that's really it.
Crossing the finish line, you celebrated as if it was something huge for you. What was that all about?
I'm coming back from my injury, so I just want to let Bahamas know. I want to let all the track girls know I'm back, and you better watch out.
There you have it. You better watch out. Camille is back, and she wants all the Bahamas girls know that she's back in track and field. Thank you so much. Back to you guys, Ricardo.
There you go. Boy, I like that. Yeah. I like that. And also to boost Frank ego.
Yeah.
That's some foolishness, eh?
I'm sure he loves it.
Oh, you love that. Hey.
Oh, man, I know he's going. He's like, okay.
My phone ring in a minute.
Yeah, I know. What? Listen, you go down to 100 meters is the open men. Amir Swain for Abaco, also Yeri Mills from Abaco, Exuma, Aaron Roll, DeValis, Delva, Eleuthera, Tyrell Thomas, Long Island, and from Michael is Dale Ellis. And out the blocks very, very quickly on the outside, looking exceptionally well, this young Mr. Dale, and so running through. Good race for him. That's a good run there for the open men. Coming through from Long Island, 11.01.
The 100 meters is just one of those races where you just feel the energy, you hear the excitement from the crowd. The earlier races were a little bit, lacking in energy, but here it is. The heats have more participants. The athletes are really competing, and I think it's because a lot of them are competing in the upcoming meets during the summer. And so
get a chance to see them.
You really feel the energy.
Yeah, the energy is there. And I think for these athletes also, an opportunity to get together, because as they leave the Bahamas Games competition, they're going to different places, and they'll be going all over the place. So many of them won't ever see each other until you get ready to go back. Many of them to school for the start of the school year, and to go from there. So that's going to work out very, very well. And this heat, somewhat limited as well. You have Emerson Brennan, who is from the Balearic Islands, Alexander Dean from Long Island will be in 2. Tanan Spence from Grand Bahama. Tejan Spence, also Joshua Johnson from Eleuthera. The Balearic Islands has got Darren Francis, and Earl Johnson is from MyCal. That's in this one as well. So this is going to be a pretty good heat. But what I like is that she bigged up Frank. And if you know Frank, okay, Mr. Megamall head big as it is. From then, and oddly enough, with the London Olympics, Frank joined me down there in Jamaica when we did the broadcast on there with IMC through Sportsmax, and Frank was Frank. Yeah. Okay, Tony knows exactly what's going on with that.
Never going to change.
Yeah, but he's a good guy.
Absolutely.
And an advocate for sport.
Oh yeah.
Not just track and field, but sports.
Yeah.
In general, because he took on a different initiative where I recall back when he was looking to get ball players to come in and play. He went to the big yard, Andros, where there was height, and he saw some size, and took a lot of kids, and they have all benefited well because he took them under his wing, all right, and they have become very good ball players.
And then he give back to the sport.
Absolutely.
He didn't just take; he give back.
There you go, and he has done so, and I want to congratulate him for what he has done. He even has a subdivision named after him. I still trying to get a piece of grass. Here we go, guys. Heat number 2. You got Brendan Dean, Spence, Johnson, Francis, and Johnson right there. And that's going to be coming out of it just like that. The Balearic Islands, Emerson. And then from Long Island, Alexander. And Grand Bahama, Spence. Spence crosses the line. And he wins the second heat. His time, 10.63.
That's pretty fast, 10.63.
Yeah.
It didn't look like he was running either. Yeah, it didn't look like he was running at all. Yeah. Tejan Spence, very quiet guy. Doesn't say much. There you go.
The conditions out here are really good now. It's cooled down. There doesn't appear to be a lot of wind.
No, what has happened also, because we have the eastern stands, that's been like a buffer, and so that's worked out well. You can see the ground view there of our athletes, and everybody having some fun, really enjoying themselves, and it's good to see them. And we want to thank also the volunteers that have also come out to assist and to make sure that the athletes are all taken care of. And all through the games, the volunteers have been highly essential.
They work hard over here.
Yeah. And all the volunteers of all the track meets that we've seen here at the stadium. Without them, boy, listen, this would have been a mess. This would have been a mess. If we didn't have those volunteers, we'd have found ourselves in a whole lot of trouble. And so, but to have them to make sure that we're moving on stream, we're okay. Now we go to the final heat. And this one, 3 heats, all-time finals. I can tell you that 10.63 seems to be the one that we need to look at, but we'll see in this heat now. We have our Showalter Johnson of New Providence, Columbus Isles, Uric Dean. Zion Campbell comes in from Grand Bahama. And then there's also Simpson Colbrook. There's Carlos Brown from Columbus Isle, Nastario Williams from Andros, and also Kieran Dean of New Providence, and also Walter Parker comes in from Andros. And I get a phone call just a minute ago from Bert Campbell, the father of Zion Campbell, and I keep trying to tell these guys, thank God for their mother. What you calling me for? Don't be calling me. Only because that boy mother has got speed and talent, he's here. You want to take credit? No, no, no. She carried him for 9 months. Leave that alone. Here we go. Heat number 3. This is the third heat of the 100 meters of the open men, and the men are in the blocks. Final heat. And they're off and running, getting out very, very quickly. Zion is out there quickly, but here comes some speed in the middle of the track. On the outside from New Providence, Ron Dean. Dean got in there and came through, and he's in 10.5 was his time. So, boy, Karan Dean, 10.5, and looked like he's going to be our winner here today. Getting out very, very quickly. Getting out pretty good. First right there was Campbell, but there again, watch the outside. This is where speed comes into play in the speed transaction. You have to carry the speed through the line.
Samson was fighting.
You're right, and he's fighting trying to get over there. Samson Colbert. Yeah, he was fighting trying to get over there, but boy, that was a very good race and a classic. And again, it comes down to the draw and how you set up. And this was a fast heat with having the athletes here run, and you can see them all celebrating and having themselves a very, very good time. So far, these guys, it's been a nice little run in the park. They all get their uniforms, and they can use them and have a good time and put them up and go from there. I did something silly, which I thought was kind of fun. My Carifta jersey from 1976.
Don't tell me you tried to put that on.
I got it on. Getting it off is the problem. I got it on. Rupert, I got it on. I'm like, okay, don't breathe too hard, Ricardo, because this bugger going tear. Jay Philippe standing by with our winner. Jay, take it away.
Yes, Scott, I'm with Karan Dean, the new Bahamas Games champ. Karan is a current collegiate athlete at UTEP. The field was stocked with some of the elite runners in this country. How did you manage to fail with that race?
I mean, I just went out, execute, stay in my own lane, just finish the job. It ain't the best time, but the win is a win.
Definitely. Can you give me a quick recap of the season you would have had this year?
I had a long season. I had indoor season, outdoor season for school, then came home, and it continued going, so it was a long season. I was up and down with injuries and stuff. But thank God I come out today and execute without feeling no pain.
As far as what's next for you in track and field, Karan?
I got one more year at UTEP, and hopefully I make the national teams. We're coming up. But that's the goal, just to stay healthy and continue moving forward.
There you have it, Karan, the Bahamas Games champs in the Opens, 100 meters. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much. I tell you what, we've seen a number of our collegiate athletes in terms of how they've been able to accelerate and move to the next level once they get out of the universities and do what they have to do. How does it make you feel when you see these kids as they have developed? You see them here on a weekly basis training, and now you see them here at the NCAA level. How do you guys feel about that?
You know, the dream, it still lives on. I remember going off to school as a collegiate athlete. I mean, it's something that I dreamed about.
All right, we're going to step away from track and field coverage right now. If you want to continue watching it on cable, on the cable system, we are continuing coverage for track on channel 230 as they continue during the news hour coming up very quickly. First thing, though, I want to point out for Ricardo, please stop picking on Quinton. Quinton could run 100 feet, just we're not sure at the time. So you stop picking on Quinton. So still here with Shima Tabo, we were talking about soccer. New Providence was able to win both men and women. We talked a little about the women. The men, again, both tournaments were essentially round robin play. New Providence men went undefeated in the tournament. That had to have been a massive, really push for you all there.
It really was. Awesome group of men that participated for New Providence. Great coaching. But more importantly, they understood the assignment. They knew that when they came into it, having them together throughout the tournament made a major difference. and it helped managing both men and women so much easier that I had them all in one place, and I could have, easily maneuver in getting them in there mentally prepared, ready for every game, and all they had to do was execute. And each game they went in with that mindset.
But I want to just stop right there real quick. When we talked about that the Bahamas Games Secretariat made a decision to house the New Providence-based athletes in the Athletes Village, and you think that paid off, especially with soccer?
Well, our New Providence Sports Council, yes. When we met, they're like, this year we want to give the opportunity for New Providence athletes the same opportunity to stay together in the game village. And I truly appreciated that, because for me, that was a game changer in terms of athlete preparation for games and the bond that it created for the players to stay together.
And I think that's important, because again, the games are developmental. They are to showcase our athletes, but at the same time, we want to build that camaraderie, and that helps pays off later on for our athletes.
Yes, it does.
Let's talk about some of the awards that were handed out. First, for New Providence, it was the Golden Boot going to Ronaldo Green. He's phenomenal, and I think he just scores sometimes at will.
I think he does, because in actuality, it's funny that you say that, because he will tell you that that's never his actual intention. He wants to play where he wants to play.
He lies.
And the goal comes.
He lies. He lies. Naldo loves to score. And I'm not saying that to be braggadocious for him, but he is such a natural scorer. To Tajay Askid, and I'm sure that I'm pronouncing it wrong, so hopefully I apologize, got the Golden Glove for Best Goalkeeper, and Jean Tilo won MVP. Let's talk about that. Jean is a phenomenal athlete. He's tall, he's fast-moving, he's a great player and a great teammate. That had to pay off for New Providence as well.
Yes, he remained composed, and he knew when it came to the end of the day and in the game that there's nothing that's going to go in his goal. So he always made sure that he was in place, and he was a great person to also be able to. I was glad for the opportunity to work along with all of them and their each individual personalities, and it was truly a great opportunity.
All right, Shima, thank you so much for joining us. Again, congratulations on the win for New Providence in both men and women, going undefeated in the men's competition and only allowing 1 goal in the entire women's competition as well. So that was a great feat there for you all. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Again, congratulations. Again, we still have a lot of Bahamas games going on. First, we still have basketball that we're going to get ready for at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. They are getting ready for some more action. That looks like New Providence Bimini and the Berry Islands taking on Grand Bahama. That's a close one, 50-44 right now, as they are taking a break, getting ready for the 4th quarter. That's going to come down to the end. Grand Bahama, a perennial favorite in basketball, so we're getting ready for that. Also at the C.I. Gibson Gym, boxing action still going on. We're going to be bringing you that in prime time as well. Boxing has made a return. It was off the schedule for a while in the Bahamas, so we're getting ready for that action. Also at the Bankers softball action, Abaco leading New Providence 1-0 right now. Just starting in women's action, Ramona Hanna, looks like that's her on the mound. She's going to be making a lot going on there, so we'll have action there as well. And finally, track and field. They're on the field events right now. Under 17 boys discus throw, but a lot of more action going on there. We will be bringing that for you for the entire night. So make sure, if you want to watch continued track and field coverage, we will continue that on channel 230 on the cable system during the Bahamas tonight. But we're going to take a break right now. We'll be back in just over an hour for more continuing coverage of the 2023 Bahamas Games. We're getting a break right now for the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report, guns for rent. Patching potholes. PM defends foreign honors. And young climate advocates speak. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. So far this month, there have been 4 homicides, and the weapon of choice in each case, a firearm. While for years this has been a troubling trend, it's what one opposition MP recently revealed that only compounds the problem.
It's well known in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas that people hold guns for rent. This is an illegal trade, Madam Speaker.
A hair-raising thought, but according to St. Anne's MP Adrian White, some of these individuals are known to police, and if not, they should be.
Those individuals can have their properties searched, Madam Speaker. Those individuals can have properties that they're affiliated with searched, Madam Speaker. We have to do something to stop the amount of gun crime on our streets in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
But White reasons that while this slows down the guns coming into the country, what is being done about the guns already here? The Bahamas earlier this year backed Mexico's $10 million lawsuit against American gun manufacturers. At the time, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis argued that guns used in the commission of violent crimes in the Bahamas are not manufactured here, but abroad, and illegally trafficked across the nation's borders. When questioned on the issue on the sidelines of a military retirement ceremony on Thursday, Police Commissioner Clayton Fernandez said this to reporters.
What we have seen in a number of investigations and in communication with suspects that are arrested, they will indicate to you that they lend this one a weapon.